Alright, so I've expanded my screen to actually show you the entire URL and all of my add-ons that I have. So how can you go about auditing the site speed, right? So let's first just simulate how each component of the website loads up. So all you do is you go to this three dots on the right hand side, you open that up, and under that you find more tools, and under that you go to developer tools. Okay, so this is a very rich place that you can actually use and understand what's really going on when you actually make a website call, any website call. If you geek about any of these, then you should check this all out. Now under this, by default it loads into I don't know where it loads into, but for me right now it loaded into a network tab. There are a bunch of other tabs. You may not understand a lot of it, but let's just first of all go to network, and there are two different buttons over here. It's called stop recording network log, and there is clear. So I'll just hit clear. Right now there is nothing on this page anyways. I'll just keep hitting clear, and you can see it's blank. Now let's just call that website Shopify again, and you can see what it's gonna do. Okay, quickly on the right hand side, you can, when I hit enter, you can see what happened. All right, so you see so many calls made, but I think everything got loaded. First of all, most of it got loaded under 4 seconds, so this is 4000 milliseconds. That's fast. And then there are a couple of calls that came in at about another after 4 seconds, so that's 8 seconds total. Now you can see a bunch of stuff that the website actually called. Started with main components of the website. So if you see over here, the blue line is where most of it got loaded. That was sub uh, almost, that's one just a little bit over 1 second. So you see most of the components are loaded there. Then few of them came in later on, and then so on and so forth. So this is just one way to tell how fast the website loads, right? Let's just load Amazon, how it's gonna show up. So see, Amazon loads. Amazon also loads pretty fast. It's really fast. It's took about 6 seconds to completely load. Right now, most of it actually came in at about this time, or no, this time. I think that's about 2.5 seconds. So it's pretty fast. Right now, if I go back and put Amazon over here, and we can see what Google says. Now we looked at desktop, so we'll just see on mobile it's 92. That's goddamn fast. And on desktop, you can see it speaks for itself. So that's very fast. All right. So that's how important it is. So for Amazon, probably for every 1 second delay, they might be losing millions and millions in revenue. So they cannot afford to do that, and they'd rather invest in improving the infrastructure than losing that money. All right, so another way to actually get this same tool is Google has actually built this inside of Chrome browser itself. So and where it resides is again in the same section. If you don't know how to go back over here, just reminding again, open those three tabs: more tools and developer tools. That's where all of this lies. So you land in this screen, and oops. So what you do is you expand this. So if you don't want to expand that, you see either you expand this window up on the left, or you can actually just click on that arrow, and then you go under audits. So on that audits section, you can actually get all this information. So um, as device, you can emulate, do you want to do a mobile or desktop, or and then you can do performance. So if you hover over it, tells you like what each tab means. So this one analyze how long does this app take to show content and become usable, right? So that's first useful paint, is something like that it's called. Then this one is called, does this page meet the standard of progressive web app? Best practices is follow best practice for modern web, um, accessibility and SEO. Is this page optimized for search engine results ranking? So let's just take all of that out, right? We don't want to know. Let's just see, this is the most important part for us. And there are two options for you to simulate. So you can simulate the speed of your connection. So if you're doing mobile, that's the tab that's going to show up. If you're doing desktop, then it doesn't matter. So you can just ignore it, like no throttling, because primarily it might be on Wi-Fi connection or on a LAN connection. So uh, just I'm just leaving it on mobile, and I'm doing a fast 3G, and then I'll just run an audit. But let's actually first go to a website that you want to actually audit. So let me just go to gap.com. Who cares? So we'll just go here, and then I'll just run an audit, right? So you can see it's actually loading the website as if it's getting loaded on a 3G network, right? That's like one of the slowest network, and you can see the tidbits on the right hand side. There's 19 seconds is the average time mobile web page takes to load on a 3G, right? It previously it said Walmart improved it 1% of site speed and gave like 100 million revenue or something. I don't know. I forgot what it said, but anyways, it was something about 100. So anyways, so it did the check, and SEO 91 score, pretty good, right? Whereas if you go on my site, and if you did this check, it would be a horrible performance. So if I just clear it all and then I'll just run again, because I haven't optimized for anything yet. So let's just see. I've never run this on my website. So you see, as the number of elements on a page increases from 400 to 6,000, blah, 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 it's so fast. Oh wow, so I am optimized like 90, not that bad. So what all it needs, I don't know if it shows any improvements over here. I think that's what it's lacking. So page is mobile friendly, okay, and structured data is valid. And then it passed few other um, checks. So content best practices, so there is title, element, meta. Yes, I think I added all of those over the weekend, but I haven't added any content yet. So probably it's optimized for SEO, but it may still not rank up front because my competitors probably would have much better content than I do. So but anyways, so, and it says document as a valid relative canonical something. So anyways, you don't have to understand what any of this means. All you need to know is whether it meets the standard or not. Again, you can do a full page full performance audit. That way you can actually, if you are losing millions in revenue on your e-commerce store, then you absolutely need to improvise on every single stuff. One of the things that I found is it slows down some of the page load. Is if you built your e-commerce store using Shopify, there are all these third-party apps that you load on your website to improve your conversion rates. But what might end up happening is, uh, because it hinders in the it's like a blocker for the website to load, because it's hosted on client side. And if you don't understand what client side means, basically it's all hosted on the page where actually uh, the customer actually made a call. And what it does is it actually uh, takes a while to actually make the call. That JavaScript takes a while to make the call to the server of the company who actually provides that service, and then loads the page. So it takes a while to actually load the page. Now there are some optimizations that people have figured out that you can do, that you can actually not load it first but load it at the end if it's not that important right away. But yeah, I mean, those are all the improvements that you could do. So anyways, I hope this has helped you any bit. And uh, I'll just show you one last thing that you can actually read by yourself. uh, Page speed statistics, right? So uh, interesting page speed statistics. So let's see. So there are all these stats that are out there that actually tells you how important site speed really is. So you see on this one, there's some website, it says, okay, so here are some of the top uh, interesting stats, right? So users spend 70% more time and have 60% more page views on websites that load quickly. That's significantly high. 77% of websites that take more than 10 seconds to load on mobile. That's just bad. So there you see there is so much scope of improvement. 77%. That's a massive scope of improvement, and most likely your website is one of them that needs some improvement. If you can bring it down to half of it, your revenue can probably double, just so that the customer is able to find the information on your website significantly faster than your competitor. Or if you're selling something online, they actually found everything that they wanted to know about that product on your website and were able to check out smoothly without any delays. There is 40% people abandon the website that takes more than 3 seconds. So see, I was telling about 10 getting from 10 to 5, but the next one says 3 seconds. So 40% of the people just leave the page if it doesn't load within 3 seconds. As you must have seen Amazon and Shopify, they both load under 2 seconds, most of it, and then they slowly load the rest of the page. So that's why it's very, very important. As space-time goes from 1 second to 5 second, probability of bounce increases by 90%. So as so yeah, so 3 is just about an average. Even 5 is bad. So if you can get from 10 to under 3, that's your best bet. And the simplest thing that you could do, in my opinion, is just find all the images that you have on your sites, on your site, on all the pages. Just get the copy of those and just compress those images. There are online tools out there that can compress the images, and you can just now then load those images back up onto the site. So that can significantly reduce the page load time uh, by itself. And if you have any redirects, make sure that the redirects are not crazy, like 20-30 redirects. It's just uh, probably one or two max. I've seen sometimes I get rerouted from a Facebook uh, ad to somewhere, and it actually redirects to like 4 or 5 different hops to different sites. So, and it takes about 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds to load the final actual page. It's just crap experience. But primarily those sites were anyways built on funnels, so they don't care about any of those improvements. So yeah, you can go ahead and read all of that, and that's going to be helpful to you. So if any of your um, if any company actually tries to sell you site speed improvements, um make sure that you understand what they're talking about. You can first audit your website by yourself. Of course, I'm not saying that they're not going to give you your site audit to you, but if you see for yourself and before you actually invest, I think you'll be satisfied in doing those changes, and and any improvement that happens thereon. So your money is actually well spent in that case. And if you already have your SEO, make sure that you tell them that, hey, what can you do about my site speed? I just did this check by myself, and it's showing up all of these improvements. So what can we do? Let's improve that. And definitely don't buy any software to audit your site speed. That's a big no. You have everything at your disposal. Internet has a free tool for almost everything that you want to do. It's just that it may not be that good, but in this case the tool is made by Google, so it has to be absolutely good. So you should use these tools to audit your website and get your uh, business increased. All right, I hope this video helped you. You can forward this video to your business friends. You can hit subscribe to this channel, or you can like the video, and I hope to share with you something else in the next video. All right, bye.